Hello, it's Crafty Carol here with another little card for you. Another quick and simple Christmas card because I'm into making those at the moment because it's I need to get on with it if I'm going to actually get anywhere with my Christmas cards this year. So this one I'm just calling a really simple panel card, and I'm actually using normal A4 card. I've already stamped an envelope, put that to one side for a second, and the card is A4 cut in half. So that means the A4 sheet, just cut it in half at 10.5 centimetres. If you're using A4 letter-sized paper in America, then you want to cut it at 4.5 inches. So then you're going to score it in the middle. So for English centimetres on A4 card, that's 14.8. For letter size card, that's scoring at 5.5 inches. And if I hadn't lost my bone folder, which I seem to have done, where on earth's that gone? Oh goodness me. Okay. Oh, there it is at the back here. It's a very dirty bone folder. I'll turn it over so you don't see the dirt. Right, there we go. Turn it over so you don't see it. So there is my card base, just really simple card base. And then I've cut various pieces of card and paper. So I've cut some silver foil, and my silver foil piece is 11 centimetres by 7 centimetres. I think I've cut that, yes. And then I have another piece of basic white. All the inches measurements are going to be in my blog. So don't worry about that. I'll show you those as we come along. I think it's 4 1/8 by 2 3/8. And then the next piece is a piece of basic white card that's going to layer on there, and that piece is 10.5 centimetres by 6.5 centimetres, or 4 by 2.5 inches. And then we have another piece of DSP. Now, I'm not going to stick it on plain like this. You'll see what I plan to do with it to make them panels. But this piece is 10 by 6 centimetres, or 3 7/8, or 3 3/4, can't remember, by 2 1/4. So there, yeah, 3 3/4 by 2 1/4. So these are the bits you need. Then you need a little strip just for a sentiment. Now, the stamps that I've used for this is actually retired DSP, but I love blue and I haven't got any other blue paper this year, so that's why I'm using this. I'm waiting for some to come. But I'm also using two of the, because I like to mix sets up, I'm using the Hope Your Season is Filled with Magic for inside the card from the Christmas Labels set, and I have used the Merry and Christmas from the Greetings of the Season stamp set. So, where is my Merry Christmas? I've just lost it. There we go. What I've done with this, I'll actually show you how I do this, because we've got two separate words and we need to put them together and have them lined up. So the way I've done that, I've already done it on this stamp, but I lay them down flat. I use my grid on my glass mat and I lay these stamps down flat against one of the lines, and then I can pick them up with my block and I know that they're straight. So that's just a little tip as to how to do that. Now I am going to emboss this in silver embossing powder. So you need an embossing buddy. Emboss the strip. Stamp it in Versamark. Making sure you've inked up the stamp well. Stamp over your embossed buddied strip. If that's a word. There we go. You won't be able to see it, of course, because it's Versamark. And then I can get my silver embossing powder. I'm just going to cover that up, stick it in and let it run down through the powder. And there, now you can see it. There's my Merry Christmas. So, of course, the next thing I have to do is heat set it using my heat gun. Ooh, bit noisy now. Make sure it's nice and hot. Now we can watch the magic happen. If I try and get the light on it, hopefully you'll see it as it goes. There we go, it's starting to go there. You see the Merry, can you see the Merry against the Christmas? We haven't done Christmas yet. There. Ooh. Merry Christmas. And I'm just going to trim that with my scissors. You can use your, if you don't want to worry about cutting a straight line, hopefully that's straight enough, then obviously you could use your trimmer, but I've just gone for it. So for the rest of this card, you can do a background, and I've got various bits of it to show you. I've got another set here of bits just to show you. The tree I've used on the other card. Yeah, I'll talk about doing the backgrounds. The tree I've used on the other card is actually from the Yuletide Village set. It's this tree here, because I wanted to match it in this case, because I've used the bear from the old Beary Cute paper with the trees. So I've put trees on the background of this one that I'll put together. But let me show you on this one, I probably should use snowflakes. I haven't got a snowflake stamp out. Oh, I have. Actually, in Yuletide Village, I've got this stamp. So I think I like to use that. There we go. So I just need a block to put it on. I have to be on this. That's far too big. I haven't got a small block. Let me take that one off for a minute and just put my snowflakes on there. And then I can use balmy blue to match my paper. And just do a background around the edge of the card. So just putting some snow randomly around the edge of the card. Put a bit more in that corner. So this is similar to the border we did for the card the other week. Very useful way to do your own backgrounds is just by using some stamps. I'm just going to fill in some of the holes I've left there. There we go. A bit more at the top there, perhaps. Yeah, I wasn't going to make it all the way around, but now I've decided to. And then I can add that inside as well as a little extra. Just add some at the top and the bottom. There we go. And I could do that on the envelope as well. I'll do the envelope later. No, I might as well do it now. Where's my envelope? I've got the stamp out and it's inked, so I might as well. So I'm going to just use the snow on the envelope as well. So have some down the bottom and some at the top. That'll be my envelope for that one. Now I can close my ink pad and just clean my stamp. There we go. So yeah, that was useful having this set out. Lovely set. I'll be doing some cards with that very soon, actually. Now I can get my sentiment back in. So that again, I'll put the pad away, honestly, what am I like? I'm going to stamp that in the centre, and then basically my card is done. Hope your season is magic. There we go. So there's the inside of my card and my outside border, and then I'm going to stick my panels on. But as I said, I'm not going to stick this piece on just flat because it's a bit boring. This one I've chosen because I've got a nice picture on the back. So I'm actually going to cut this, and I want this bit in the middle. It doesn't matter, you could choose which end. These don't have to be in order because it's not going to show that way. So I'm just going to get my trimmer out. So as I said, this piece is 10 by 6. So I'm going to cut 2 end pieces of 2.5, and I'm using my trimmer on this side because it's a lot easier to do. So that's one piece. Then I'm going to turn it round and do the same the other side, 2.5 from that side. And then that leaves me a nice big bit for the middle with my tree on. So I'm now going to stick these on the card. So we'll have the panel in the middle. And I'm not putting too much dimension on. A lot of Christmas cards I post, and I don't want too much dimension on because I end up paying far too much for the postage. So we'll have that panel there. And then I can put my white panel on, which is just another layer. Just felt it needed an extra an extra layer. You might not need to use this one. You could just cut the paper this big and cut it up. It's up to you, up to you. I think it looks nicer with the double layer here. So stick that piece on, and then I have these to stick on here. So I'm going to stick them in order. So I've got my snowflakes at one end, my snowflakes at the other end, and then my tree in the middle. So if I put my glue on there, I'll start at one side, or you could lay them out and stick them in turn. I'm going to go for it because I know the size, so I know I just need to leave that 1/2 centimetre border. Stick this one at the other side. And I'm doing the two end bits first because then I can stick it in the middle, and if it doesn't quite fit properly, it doesn't matter. It should do, I've measured it. So stick this one at this end. And this one, get it the right way round. I'm just going to squash the edges because I cut it that way up so the edges stick up a little bit. So I'm doing my trick to squish down the cut edges so they don't look cut from this side. Put some glue on that. And it should fit, and does, right in the middle. And if there's a little gap either side, it won't actually matter because it'll just look. I did think about making them so there was a gap each side, but I decided that was actually not quite as easy to measure. So there we go. That one actually is, I don't think I've got enough wiggle room left in that one. It's dried. Hang on. It might be, just try and ease it across a little bit. There we go. There. And then all I need to do is add my sentiment, and you've got a choice. You can either have it at the bottom, across the middle, which is where I'm going to go with it, or anywhere else you want. It depends on the layout of your card, really. I'm going to show you another one in a minute, which will be slightly different. So for example, if I use the bear, which is another option I've got that I cut, I'll show you those pieces in a second when I've just finished this one. So I'm just putting it, oops, make sure it's straight, of course. Make sure it's straight, always better if it's straight. And they're really simple, really quick, straightforward, quick card, which actually will go flat in the post, and I don't have to pay too much in terms of postage on it. If you wanted, you could add some gems. These gems go very nicely with this. These are the Faceted Gems Trio Pack. They would go beautifully, so I could add those. Don't want to on that one. I think that's actually enough with all the snow around it. I think that's actually enough. So that is my very quick and simple panel card. I have another one here that I can make up. I've got a bear. Actually, I've got two bears. I need to cut some more edge bits to go with them. So I've got another one there I can make up. And for that one, I've actually haven't got the other pieces cut, but I used this card. I made a mess smudging that. Won't matter because it'll be covered by my silver panel. I've got a gold one here to show you just how that will cover it up. So there, and I'm going to use I could use my bears on that one. And for that one, I might well have put my Merry Christmas. I'll make this another time, but I'll show you. I'll probably put my Merry Christmas down here or somewhere rather than across the top, possibly across the top there. We'll see. But anyway, those are, I've got all these bits to make plenty. I do make several of this. When I've got a layout for a card, I'll make several of it. But as you can see, they're different. These two are going to be different. I don't ever make two cards the same. I just don't like that. So that is my panel card. We're actually making this one in a different set of colours, and I'm just going to show you that because it's just beautiful. So this time I've used Very Vanilla as the base, and I've got it sort of part made to show you. So this time I have used the bow stamp from the Golden Greenery stamp set to decorate the card, and again I've decorated it round the front. I've stuck that bit on, just need to stick the rest of the bits together. And this is the Season of Green and Gold DSP, which is just absolutely beautiful. And I've actually used two different papers because I wanted gold across the front completely. And I have already embossed my Merry Christmas. Not very well by the look of it, but might repeat. That's because that hasn't quite melted. Just a second. Okay, may need to do that. I might do that one again later. But anyway, same sort of principle. This time though, I've used 2 papers and I've cut, again, same sort of sizes. So I've got 6 centimetres downwards, 2.5 centimetres and 5 centimetres. And these will go on the panel to make this second card. Just very quickly put it together. Nearly put it together because I need to redo that Merry Christmas. Not happy with it. It's not perfect, so I can't use it, but I'll show you roughly what it looks like. So again, put those panels on, use the end bits first. It is beautiful. The season of Green and Gold, I think, is my favourite DSP. I have actually bought ridiculous amounts of it, so I will have plenty to use for my Christmas cards this year. So don't be surprised if you get a Christmas card from me. It will be a season of Green and Gold, almost certainly. Unless you're the lucky person that gets my trees or my bears. So again, putting the end panels on first, sticking them down, and then I can put my centre panel in the middle. If you wanted to cut this very slightly smaller, you could leave a gap either side and make them sort of sit as panels, but I actually quite like it as running into one another, making sure they're straight. There we go. There's my panel card using the season of Green and Gold. And again, I have my Merry Christmas across there. So but I need to redo it because I'm not happy with that. And inside again, I have used on the envelope and inside, I have used again the sprigs, and I hope your season is filled with magic. So these are the cards we're actually going to be making. This one is the card I'm going to be making in my Zoom, or we made in my Zoom Craftalong this week. But I wanted to give you the measurements in case you want to have a go at these very simple panel cards, but they're just very effective, I think. Thank you for joining me today. All the measurements will be in my blog at craftycarolscards.co.uk, and I hope to see you again soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.